Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Swinton. There's a sun behind my head. Look, it's always sunny in Philadelphia, they say. Now, I've been to the city a couple of times in the last 3-4 days, and I've left having not made a video because maybe we're all in it. We're all in that period of reflection and what the hell's it all about, and where do we go from here, and what am I doing with my life, and who are these people? What am I? What the hell's going on? And not only that, you know, like, as much as the geopolitical world stage gets heavy, as much as it looks like the conflict of all conflicts is coming, as much as it looks like Pfizer and other companies are being exposed by brave men willing to take one up the poop chute for journalism. I mean, that's putting your life on the line. That is, you know, when you put your anus directly in the line of fire over mega corporations and corruption and gain of function, allegedly, then you're a brave guy. But jokes aside, it's too quiet. There's not enough going on around me. I go to the city and it's depressing and boring. There's no one doing anything. Only people that are like alive on the street, the drunks and the occasional crackhead, who have all been subdued. Whether it's the photon device, whether it's the police, whether it's inflation and the price of drugs, who can afford crack these days? There's a tension building. There's a lot of potential energy hoarding. And how's it going to release? I don't know. But tanks for Ukraine. Good tanks, so they tell us. Very good tanks, best tanks in the world. M2 Bradleys for Ukraine. Infantry fighting vehicles. Armored personnel carriers. APCs for the NPCs. The more we do war, the closer we are to peace. But anyway, wanky statements aside, the world's too quiet. And it's usually quietest before the storm. And then it's quiet again in the eye of the storm. But there's just not enough happening for me to bring you that kind of photon. Things got a bit too serious for this clown, and I can't turn my frown upside down. Do you ever have those days where you just want to avoid people? Where you cannot bear to have small talk with a human being? You just keep your head down. You go about your business and you hope for the best. Now, I unfortunately I'm recognized now and again. And I'll tell you something. When someone recognizes me, whether I'm in the mood or not, I'm having a conversation with them. Whether I want to hide in the corner, sit on the top deck of the bus, put my headphones on, and disappear from the world, if someone recognizes me, it's like, no, you're having a chat now, Veach. And it's fine, and I'll tell you why it's fine. 99 times out of 100, the person who enjoys my videos and wants to have a chat with me, they manage to cheer me up. If I'm feeling shit, all it takes is someone to chat to you, to rant at you about something you do that they like. And you're like, oh, we've got something in common. And that's fine. But people that like my videos and say hello to me aside, carry on. I'll say hello to you. I'll chat to you, of course. The fuck else am I doing with my life? Average NPC normies. Is it very windy right now? NPCs and normies terrify the shit out of me. They scare me. The animated golems. The little claymen. Suddenly, they're cognicizing. And what scares me about NPCs and those two men up the watchtower, where's the tower, where's the gun, where's the tower, where's the gun? is I don't know if they're able to think about thinking. You know, let's try and peel the layers of onion head here, of the onion. You're thinking like, oh, I'm hungry. But to think about thinking like, whoa, how weird. I'm a being having a thought about being hungry. How strange. What is that? What is that? And then to think about thinking about thinking, you're like, whoa, I'm aware that I'm a being who had a thought about hunger. Like, am I hungry? What is the thing that is hungry? How do I relate to that? How am I a viewpoint? WTF, bro? So yeah, jury's out. Jury's out whether most people can meta-recognize. Can most people think about thinking, or are they stuck in thinking? I don't know. I'm not saying I'm like smarter or better, or I'm a deeper thinker than your average person. As far as I know, I'm a mentally disabled, semi-retarded, low-level autist who's had to cobble together some sort of humanity from from other people, from the media, from things I read, from things I saw, from cool lines in movies, from stand-up comedians. I thought, oh yeah, I'll use that. They laugh when he says it. Maybe people won't shy away from me and hate me if I say it too. Maybe. I've noticed since the coof, since the Chinese cough and sneeze, since the Wuhan, customer services is dead. Now, I don't know what the service industry is like for the ultra-rich. I'm not ultra-rich. Don't know how their butlers treat them, but for an average person like me who goes into B&M Bargains, goes to Quality Save, goes to Tesco's, goes to M&S Food, goes to Boots, and a million other stores in this country, customer services is dead. It used to be like, oh, I'll pretend to be in a good mood and plaster on a fake smile because I'm acting in a sales job and I'm an actor, and it's an act and it's a service, so I'm going to make the customer feel good, be nice to them because they'll probably spend more money. The more money they spend, the more my job is secure. Who's that shouting down there? I don't know. I'm going to avoid them. Bloody hell. I hope. Looks like a protest. We'll go and have a look if it's something. But yeah, in the good old days, they're like, oh, the nicer I am to the customer, the more money they spend, they're going to come back and kumbaya. We'll all sit around the fireplace. Capitalists are happy. The bosses are happy. I might even get a raise. But nowadays, as we're all doomers, none of us believe in the future or hope. We all think, you know, man-made pandemics. We all think biological warfare, nuclear war, the end of cash, the end of anonymity. Even the good Dr. Jordan Peterson is talking about no one should be anonymous on the internet. It's the end of an era. And so with the coof, with the lockdown, you know, imagine that, like, at the very start of it, they're like, oh, yeah, worst pandemic ever, you're all gonna die, fatality rate of 10%, 1 in 10 people, in a school of 600 people, 60 kids are gonna die. That's what they told us at the very start. But then they're like, right, all right, Dave, Sarah, Tracy, John, I know you're working minimum wage jobs at Asda or Tesco or Sainsbury's, but you're not going to be at home earning 80% of your wage on the, I can't even remember what it was called, furlough, the furlough scheme. And so people that work in shops got angrier and angrier and angrier. And they take it out on the easiest person, the customer. You try and kick off. The manager will just come and side with their staff member because they're equally pissed off that they're not allowed to sit at home on 80% of their wages for nothing. Government's like, yeah, most deadly pandemic ever, but people still need to shop at Aldi and Lidl, so get back to the cashier's desk, Johnny. No wonder they got pissed off. I had the opportunity for a nice argument, and I feel I would have been morally right. I was the righteous party This ties in with no one wants to give good service. Everyone's ego is too terrified. And before we continue, look what the teenagers have done to my boy, my pampas grass, my symbol. Look at that. They've killed it. And not just this one, they've ripped it all down. The other one as well. But the good news is, with plantage, with foliage, it'll come again in the spring and the summer. A few months away, there will be tall, turgid, proud grass fronds once again, indicating that Salford City Council is a good spot for the swingers. That's what it's going to indicate. So where was I? Yeah. I was getting a Greg's, getting a few last minute things from Asda, and they have some muggers, you know, the sales muggers, people with a little iPad that come up behind you, they ambush you, like the Wagner group in Solidar. You know, you're trying to say, Slava Ukraini, going to keep the town. Next thing you know, you got Wagner mercenaries firing AK-48 rounds into your ass. And it's like, they call them hohols. It's an insult, I think, based in the Holodomor, which is pretty dark, pretty effing dark. But before I disappear up a tangent and start going about Ukraine, came out of Asda, there was a young lady, maybe about 25. I like that solar effect behind me. 25, you know, smartly dressed with her little iPad. I just go, excuse me, sir, can I ask you a question? I said, yeah, sure, go ahead. And she goes, oh yeah, who's your provider of your broadband and internet in your house? And I said, oh, it's a sales thing. No, thank you. I don't want to have the chat. She goes, what? I said, oh, no. She goes, no. Who provides? And she actually frowning at me. I'm not the one that went up to her. Frowning at me. No, I asked you, who does your broadband internet in your house? And I said, oh, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to have a sales chat. I'm sorry. She looks at me the way Hans looked at someone inside the Zyklon B chamber when he was about to drop it in. She looked at me like that, like dehumanized me. And it was like, WTF, bro, in the city in Manchester, when the chuggers, the charity muggers, they approach you. If you give any sign that you're in any way not interested, they leave you alone, because what's the point in pitching someone that doesn't want to be pitched? You fucking bitch. So anyway, that big pharmaceutical company called Pfizer released a statement. Very vague, because in the new world order of like corporations thinking that they're Billy Big Bollocks more important than you and me. Thought those workmen were having a go at me. Pfizer released a statement saying allegations have been made. We're not doing gain of function. We're the good guys. You may have heard this, you may have heard that, because yeah, Jordan Walker got honeypotted hard. Project Veritas, and yeah, they did all the screenshots. He is a director of research at Pfizer. Now, before you get over, a director, oh my god, it's like vice president in the film American Psycho. Every mother effer in the company, oh, you're vice president, oh, you've been here 3 minutes, make him a vice president. Like at Pfizer, everyone's a director. It's not like director like you own shares of the limited company or of the PLC. No, they mean director like you are directing that particular segment. You could be a social media director of Facebook posting. Ooh, how important. So yeah, he got caught. He admitted what we all suspected. You know, like in the in the computer programming industry. The biggest shekels comes from having pre-ready Norton antivirus, McAfee antivirus, AVG antivirus for viruses that you made yourself on your computer program. And that and then the customers are like, wow, your antivirus is so effective, Mr. McAfee. Okay, I shouldn't talk about McAfee, because then it's too many conspiracy theories. People are like, oh, Mr. Norton, your antivirus is very effective. And then Mr. Norton's like, yeah, I wrote that virus last year. Yeah. We knew that about Pfizer. We did. And it's scary how the Daily Mail picked up on the story, ran a big expose, and then hours later deleted the whole thing. But luckily people archived it, they found it. Even the MP, Andrew Bridgens, who got kicked out of the Parliamentary Conservative Party for sharing his very big concerns about the sheep dip. This ties in with what I was saying earlier. Everything's F-U-C-K-E-D. Everything is beyond saving now. Has the West fully collapsed? Is there any hope? It seems like in a democracy, how do I put this as gently as I can? When you bring in enough people who are not singing from the same hymn sheet, and then you get angry people with big beards to say, look, fucker, the reason you're poor and you don't live in a big house and you're not rich is those guys over there. They're hoarding it all. They're the bad ones. Vote for us. We're the good guys. We're gonna release all the money. Promise we're not gonna line you up against the wall and have you shot once your use for getting me into power is over. You should see how the communists in revolutionary Russia, they gave Stalin a really hard time. Okay, a bit later on than the revolutionary, in the 30s, 40s, they were giving Stalin a hard time. Where's our equality? Where's women's rights? Where's the workers owning all the stuff? We don't want oligarchs, Stalin. We want to own it. Like you said, we'd all own it. Old Joseph, he's like, playing with his mustache. He's like, yeah, straight to Gulag. And he's like, Sergei, shoot them at dawn. That's what happens. Democracy is ogre. It's all ogre now. It's not going to work. You've got too many people in this country who will either just vote the way their parents voted, their grandparents voted, without thinking why, without considering it, because maybe they're not meta-conscious. They can't think about thinking about thinking about thinking. And also, there are no answers. In fact, let's try and end it on a nice big fat juicy note and say, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, all you need to understand is the relationship between nothing and everything. It's in everything, daytime, nighttime, even binary computing. Binary, now there's a trigger word. I believe in binary. I believe in male and female. And like, you know, death, life, on, off. David Hasselhoff, off. And what blows me away, you know, we got all this chat GPT, and they call it AI. You know, when we were kids, people who are like 40, 50, 60, when we were kids, we believed AI would be sentient, viewpoint computers, able to think about thinking. But they're not. They're just hyper-fast programs that rehash the internet into a nice image or into a story. And you're like, whoa, it looks like it's got a brain. It's gonna wipe us all out. It's not. There isn't. There's no one there. It's empty. And it blows me away how all the advances in AI have made God more likely, not less.